What is up, everybody? We are back. I am joined by my two furry co hosts, Jane and Miyagi. They're both hanging out, chilling, but I'm going to do this shit in 15 minutes or less. That's what she said. Okay, let's go. Good morning. A couple things before we get into it. Hey, this is Bullish. Drop us like a sub here. Help us feel great about ourselves. Also, real underscore bullish. Follow me there. For like basically wherever you get your social media poison. I love talking to people, love engaging and just sharing ideas and shit. Also, hey, this is only my opinions. Do your own fucking due diligence. These are just kind of things that I'm watching, not necessarily playing, but also at the same time, hey, like do your own due diligence, do your own work. This is just my ideas. All right, the first one we're gonna look at, I'm just gonna jump into this shit is DoCU. We looked at DoCU, so I'm recycling two, and I have a few more. But DoCU was one that man, for the past 2 weeks I wanted to watch because there was a lot of catalysts. They were called out for like 2 or 3 weeks from Motley Fool for the 2020 roundup, which is a great podcast. Watch Motley Fool or listen to Motley Fool. It's so good. You get a lot of good ideas. I get a lot of good ideas, but not all of them I want to play right away. But I thought the docu was a really interesting one. I've been looking to it for a couple weeks. I have been waiting for it to get to the bottom. And if we look out here on the week chart, sorry for all my crazy lines. I don't want to delete this one yet because I'm still using it. But basically, if you look at it at the week level, what I wanted to see was it test this line here. So if you look at this is resistance, right? We went over support resistance, but I'll also talk about it later. 244 was the resistance, and I wanted to see what it was going to do at that line 2 weeks ago. It ended up selling off, which is perfect for me. That's what I wanted. And then so what did I do? I waited for it to like bottom out here, and I think that was like 1-4. So that Monday, last Monday, yeah, it bottomed out. I got back into it, and I rode it until I felt comfortable. Until it hit this resistance. Now I'm out. I wanted to see what was going to do at the resistance. If I'm looking at this chart right now, it's going to break this resistance on Monday, open above it. Why do I say that? Because on the day level, the RSI, the relative strength index, is going up, which is a good thing. But the MACD is also showing me that it's gonna fucking shoot the fuck off. So on Monday morning, and I have an alert here for when it hits a set price for me. When it breaks that, I'm gonna fucking play the shit out of this. Probably, it's all gonna depend on what happens on Monday. But basically, I love this even more. Catching at the bottom would have been great. I didn't know what it was gonna do, and I kind of got at not the best price, so I was trying to play it to be safe. I still got my green, got out, but basically what I wanted this is exactly why I got out, because I don't know what it's going to do at this resistance line here at 246.07. But once it breaks and holds that, I'm going to love it, because hopefully it will bounce off of this channel at 267-ish. And then I'll kind of reevaluate what I want to do there. But basically, I get in, I set this as my stop price. Basically, hey, if it broke above here, but then didn't started selling off here. So if I look at it a little bit closer, maybe on the 15 level. So if it broke that line and then started selling off, I would think about broke this line and started selling off. I would think about setting this as my get out price if it goes below this line. But hey, it has a lot of upward pressure at that, so I really like it. Looking at it a little bit closer, like in the 30-minute level, looks like it wants to sell off. That's going to be fine. But basically, that's how I'm going to be playing that one. The other one I want to talk about was Micron. I'm going to go through this shit. I'm telling you, quick. I got shit to do, but I'm also trying to make these a lot shorter, 15 minutes maybe at the most. What I liked about Micron, I called this out 2 weeks or last week. It was running hot for the year, but they had really good earnings on 1/7 after market close. They actually fucking destroyed earnings. They had a top and bottom beat. What do I mean by that? The earnings per share beat. The fucking revenue beat. They increased guidance for 2021. Awesome. The CEO actually on Friday was on Mad Money. If you don't listen to Mad Money, hey, just listen to it every once in a while. You have to pay for CNBC, but it's actually a free podcast. So if Apple, Spotify, whatever, go into there and listen to Mad Money. It's really good. The CEO was on there. He was basically talking about how they're the leader for their space for the first time for DRAM and DDR, and it's only going to grow because of 5G, because the Internet of Things, because we want our fucking storage space fast, and now and solid state is also. All that to say, like, hey, they fucking had a great 2020. He expects an even better 2021. I played this shit twice last week. I loved it. It was an easy play for me. Basically, I got in before the earnings. You know me, I like really good earnings plays. I like to play them before, and I like to play them after, if that makes sense. And it did make sense for me. Basically, I saw this coming up. A couple days, you see this fucking run up to the earnings here, and then basically you play what the chart gives you. What I liked about it before, it was very channely. If I look at the day level, it couldn't break this resistance 74.45, great, but it also couldn't. It was bouncing off the support at 70.01. Awesome. It was channely, was consolidating for a while in an effort to break over that channel. It finally did. before earnings. So it kind of broke over that 1-4. So Monday, Tuesday, whatever. I was already in this bitch. But basically, I sold off before the earnings, got back in the earnings after the earnings for this pop here, sold off at the high. So I got in about like here again. You see me kind of like I was doing my fucking little triangles and shit, trying to see where it was gonna pop. It actually, hey, X marks the spot. I'm telling you, it's not rocket science. You had a fucking bull flag here, right? What I mean by that, or pendant, right? You had kind of like closing or consolidating in terms of like a point. It actually fucking at the point where I marked was then I was like, okay, cool. If it's green here, I'm good. So I got in, I held it, sold it the morning of. But well, basically what I was trying to do the morning of, and I think I put this on Twitter, was basically how I was trying to play this was I was trying to see at the 30-minute level what it was going to do. It actually had a double bottom here, and I was hoping, hey, this is a very bullish sentiment, right? It's going to be great because hey, at this double bottom, hopefully it tries to test the VWAP. It didn't actually do that. It ended up selling off, which was fine. I was still ahead of it. But at the same time, I got a smaller gain from this, but I set this as my stop loss, and then it ended up selling off, which was great. You plan your trade and then trade your plan. That's exactly what I did twice with Micron. So I was really happy about this one for last week. But also, I'm looking for a hard sell-off, baby. I'm looking for this bitch to hit this line here and then bounce off of this line of 74.03. And I'm going to hold this motherfucker for a while. This is going to be one that I try to eventually long hold. I'm not very successful for longs because I get like, 10%, 15% gain. I'm like, I'm selling it. But actually for this one, I might try to hold it a little bit longer. Basically, that dog's looking at me real weird. Basically, that's one I wanted to play and one I'm really excited about still because they have so much forward guidance going and they have so much tailwinds going from them. So we got DOCU, we got Micron. We're going to go into my next one, NIO. And I played NIO before. And the reason why I call them out 6 minutes in, boom, let's go. The reason why I like NIO basically is investing.com had a post on Twitter where they had all these buzzwords. NIO partners with NVIDIA to develop new generation of automated driving electric vehicles. Oh my God, so many buzzwords. Also, we have a couple things. They also added them to their podcast. If you don't listen to investing.com podcast, it's okay. But basically, they had a stock to add and a stock to drop. They wanted to drop Twitter and add NIO. So I think that NIO, even though it's going to all-time highs, it still has a lot of gas in there. There's also driving the EV wave that's been going on lately or recently. Green tech is like the thing to do right now. And I think that NIO, even though like you can argue like its valuation versus share price is kind of like insane, and they've already had like a crazy run over 2020. But still, I think that they're making those partnerships and doing things in a way that's setting them up for continued advancement into the future. Also, CES, Consumer Electronics Show, is around the corner. It's just actually coming up week. So we should see NVIDIA for sure getting some love here. But also, so that should help buoy NIO. But also, I would think that they're going to have some self-driving love there as well. Okay, looking at the chart real quick, what I liked about this, and it would have been great doing it last week, but it's fine. This thing broke 2 levels of resistance, basically. Yeah, or ish, so I like this because it was very channely. I'm looking at the week level, and that's kind of like my first thing. I look at the week level. How far is it extended off of this 10 EMA line? Where is it going? This one is a little extended, but not crazy. Last week would have been better. Well, a week and a half ago would have been better, but basically because it was touching that line there. But also what I like about doing it now is it broke this really important, you see this double top here? That's a very bearish sentiment. That means that the price was trying to break that. It couldn't break it at the time. It sold off and then found support here again at this 10 EMA at the week level, and then riding that up to finally break this resistance here. So I love it because it finally broke really important area. I mean, this is 1, 2, 3 weeks of that, 3 different weeks. So what is that? Fucking 21 days of it using, not 21 days, but basically 3 weeks, which equates to 21 days, I guess, being not trading days. But anyways, it was very bearish spot. It finally broke over there last week. And what I love about this is this chart looks like it's primed, ready to go. If you look at it at the volume level, bearish volume, bullish volume under average, then bullish volume over average. And it's interesting where it came in. So RSI is picking up. You have the MACD not touching, but going further away from each other, which is what you want when you're looking at bearish or bullish sentiment. But also at the day level, it was weird because the volume came in on Friday. Oh my God, Friday is a discount day. Friday is the day when people sell. They take their shmoney, they're taking their girl or their boy out, they're getting some drinks and shit. But the volume came in on Friday, probably because of that partnership thing. But still, I'm going to play this motherfucker. And even though I hate playing NIO because It's so extended. It's so hot. Blah blah. I've done it before. But I think that the week level looks good. At the day level, you see this right here. This is also could be seen as a hanging man. Like people came in and it's like the price is hanging there. So what I'm gonna wait to see what it does. But if it closes above this $54 area range, it's really good price. It's a really good thing to look at. If it opens above that, maybe bounces and goes, I might look for a little sell off, but this thing could also just go from there. You see RSI coming up to be almost not to that oversold level. Like I said, 70 is about oversold, but basically it can run hot. It can run 75. I think this is like 82 and still make gains. I like the RSIs coming up. I like the MACDs coming up at the day level. If you break it down a little bit slower to the 30-minute level, you can get a little more granular and you still see it's kind of taking that wave and kind of going from there, which I love about that. So I think that NIO has a lot of primer for this week coming up. I want to see it hold this 54 area of support. I would want to see it break off. And I also like that all the trend lines are intact. You have 10 EMA followed by the fucking 25 EMA, followed by the 50, followed by the 200. Like they're all in line as they should be. And you also had that 25 EMA crossing over this VWAP. Look up VWAP, what it means. So basically, it's very important intraday in the same day. And it's like rising above that, which I love about that. So far we got DOCU, we got MU, which is Micron. I love that one. I love DOCU, I love MU. These are like potentially long holds for me that I'm just like swinging the fuck out of. You have NIO, that's more, it's like a speculative thing. I don't fuck with like China stocks as much because I got fucking burned by Lucky and Coffee when they IPO'd. I mean, I played that shit all stupid, but I got fucking burned by Luck, and it's like a whole fucking fabrication of a company. But anyways, the story was great. I don't think it's the same thing here with NIO. I just think that it's been really hot and had a super strong run. So I'm kind of like weary about jumping into it again, but I'm gonna chart it out. Hey, I have my plan, and as long as I trade my plan, I think I'll be fine with NIO. And at least get 3 or 4%, and then see what I want to do there. I don't like hot runners because they could also be hot losers at the same time, as opposed to like DOCU and Micron, who are like more established and they're not as fucking volatile. Volatile is great until it works against you. Anyways, okay, that's the 3 that I wanted to do. We also have IPOs coming up. We have Petco, which is going to be trading PETM. That's going to open on Tuesday with about around 14 to 16 bucks, hopefully. And as you can see, I have a bunch of dogs. Go away. I have a bunch of dogs, so I like Petco. I don't like Petco as much as Chewy when they IPO'd, but also I think their Petco is Petco is Petco. I go to Petco, when I have to. I actually don't go to Petco that often. But anyways, I thought that was worth a mention because I do have dogs, and I kind of love going in there and just like walking around and buying shit. Also, Poshmark. Poshmark is going to be traded under POSH also on Tuesday. So Tuesday you have Petco, you have Poshmark, and there's a fuckload of them. These are just the 3 that I pulled out. They're going to be trading for about $35 to $39 on Tuesday. Poshmark, it's a serious thing. If you've never heard of Poshmark, I basically don't buy any clothes full price. I do go to secondhand stores, I go to thrift stores. I like thrifting's fun as fuck. Buffalo Exchange and shit. And basically Poshmark is like more of that, but in the digital world, it's basically like a digital, like not thrift store, but basically kind of that. You have people that sell their clothes, not just clothes, but like items, wallets, watches, whatever the fuck you need, shoes, It's like a StockX, but like posh. And they actually, as of September 30th, they have 31.7 million active users. That's a fuckload of active users. They have 6.2 million buyers, a fuckload of buyers. And then at the same time, they have 4.5 million sellers. They have more buyers than sellers. That's what's important because Etsy, that was what they were struggling on. They had a lot of sellers, but not as many buyers. Now they kind of reverse that and they show that buying trend is taking off, which is important. Hey, go away, go. They're like fighting or something. Okay, also the third one that I'm kind of excited about is Affirm. Affirm you haven't heard a lot about recently, but there was like a lot of news 2 months ago. And they're trading on AFRM for $38 supposedly on Wednesday. And Affirm, if you're not in tune with what they are, they're basically a mobile first point of sale system for consumers, merchant commerce solutions, and consumer focused app. It's part of a buy now, pay later trend. It's like Rent-A-Center almost, but like digital and shit. And I think that like they're targeting, just like Poshmark, millennials who kind of want shit now, So I think that's an interesting one. The IPO market for 2020 was red hot with on average prices increasing 22% that same day. That's 22% based off of what they were supposed to go off of. So try to conceptually think about it. Like, don't pay for Affirm. Don't pay $50 maybe. Like, no, don't pay $60, Try to get as close as you can to a price that they're going to open at. And then hopefully you get that 22% average. You saw Snowflake double in the same day. You saw fucking Dash and all those take off. But anyways, that is my time. I appreciate y'all. y'all motherfuckers wash your hands and shit. So wash your hands. I appreciate you tuning in. Give me a sub here, but I appreciate all the love and support. And let's engage, let's talk some shit. But I hope that you got some out of that. That was MU, that was NIO, that was DOCU, Petco, Poshmark, Affirm are the IPOs. You guys have a great day. Wash your hands, social distance, and wear a mask. All right, peace.